What's up everyone, Aubrey Trades, and today I want to go over some names that I'm paying close attention to this coming week for some potential trades. Now, this past week was pretty exciting. We saw some stuff like FLGC going from 7 to 14, or we even saw BT going from like the 8s to the 20s. Absolutely crazy. Yes, things are a bit slow. It is summer trading season, but there's still plenty of opportunity. And you know what? I am just happy that I ended up green on the week, not even slightly. It was like one of my better weeks that I've had in a long time, despite completely fumbling both of these mentioned plays. I made practically zero money on either of these names, but I did catch some NAOV and DRNG with some good moves for the 250 retest and DRNG. I grabbed the morning, not the morning panic dip buy, but the dip and rip here. So those are my two best plays. Now going into this next week, right? So I went through the watch list. You know, I have just pages of names, and I'm just little thoughts, little structures I think might be developing. Well, I went through everything and I resorted it and just kind of put it in order of my, of my favorites. So this is, in no particular order, an exhaustive list of what I think is most interesting right now. FTFT is going to be a top watch coming out into Monday because I had this really great ramp. I missed all of this because I decided to call it early on Friday and took my green day, so I missed all of FTFT. However, I think this is now a great candidate for a potential third day surge. I'm not planning to touch it tomorrow. I want to see if we open, if we gap up for the open tomorrow, I could see maybe a push to the 4s, but ideally what I'd love to see is a bit of a cool off day for a nice third day surge setup. If we had a cool off day where we sort of hung around here in the 320s, I think that would set us up great for a test of 4. That's going to be what I'm watching for the early part of the week. BTBT is still in play with Bitcoin kind of back in that mid 40s, which we haven't seen in a long time. So, I got some ranges here set up from the longer term chart. Let's go to the 5 year. Maybe go back to the 1 year and reset it because I can't see the zoom. There we go. So I got I got some levels of interest here, right? So next one I want to look out for is the break of 20 to test 22 to 24 area, but still some upside. I think, we're getting a little extended. I'd love to see us maybe hang around here a little bit before giving a retest. I would like to see this have a little bit more longevity, but we will see. And I might be focusing a little bit more on BITF right here, just because at this point it's a little, it's lower priced. It's a recent IPO, hot sector, bit farms, or over its initial IPO price. We've had this nice like uptrend happening. Let me adjust this. I like the way that looked. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But now we're in this, let's just clear the whole thing. Yep. So now we're in this like really interesting territory. I would probably keep an eye on this 450 zone. I'm gonna I'll refine these as, let me trade a little bit more. Let's actually pull up intraday. Make these a little bit. There we go. I'll keep an eye on these zones, but this had a nice perk in the after hours, 2 to 625. This is blue skies though. That's why I love this, blue skies. If this really gets the momentum crowd, and I think maybe with BT being higher priced, maybe some more volume will come up. But you know, we had this really great volume day on Friday. I don't know, probably one of my higher priority watches. I'm gonna give it like a different color. Maybe I'll make it blue. FTFT I really like too. I'll make that one blue. FLGC is still a watch just because it's been nutty. I personally like. I think I want to focus myself more on lower priced plays, like under $5, just because of my account size. But I still want to follow, and I mean, you just never know. Like these things can go from 20 to 70, so you know, hang on, right? But I want to be able to get more shares at lower prices. But still in play. I like that, you know, we're in the middle of this range. 15 is the main area to watch for continued upside. But love this, another recent IPO, blue skies. So anything really goes. We have a good range here from the 10s to the 15s. You know, ideally to keep this looking front side, I'd like to see maybe some consolidation, maybe a fade to bounce off of this to give us maybe a good bounce day, maybe retest this 15 area. I would love to see this play out more on the longer term time frame. ANY, still like it over 5. Was this one of the runners from the day? I think so, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, gapped up big, didn't really offer much. Maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe this, but whatever. But it's still, you know, if we go to the 1 year chart, we have seen instances where we've had like 2 red days and then like a 3rd day surge, but just with 2 red days after a gap. So still a possibility, still watching. You know, hopefully that's more of like a Tuesday thing, but you know, be prepared. MVST has been getting some love in the rooms. Recent IPO, it had this big like gap red day, a little higher price for me, but I could see a similar setup as ANY developing out of it. I'll probably make this one blue because that would be my priority. It's more in my price range. One I'm so upset at myself for not getting on. I brought this up in chat too, and I was like, oh, what do you think? One for a 3rd day setup. And like the response I got was, oh, it's, you know, too far off the highs for me. And then we got this move from the 70s to test $1, and I was like, oh my God. Imagine if I just like I don't need people's blessings to take trades. You know what I mean? Like this is the thing. Now that I'm tracking stuff and I'm seeing things that aren't talked about in chat, like I remember, I think I even might have made a video about FLGC like on its first big green day. And I'm like, I know I've at least mentioned it in the watch list chats a couple times, and I just still like, it wasn't until everyone started talking about it that I was like, okay, maybe now I can trade it. No. Can't do that. Can't do that. All right, one. You know what this is bugging me is because I can't control the zoom. There we go. There we go. Yeah, one had this great 3rd day surge thing. Ugh, look at this. And the way that I'm using my strategy lately too, so if I see something developing and I'll just like, if I want to spend $20 per ticker, right, and I want to have a starter position, maybe I'll take like $5 risk trade, and I'll make my risk like down here 67 cents, and I'll enter like whatever in 72s. It's like 4-cent risk. It's actually not bad considering the move too. Like considering the move that this went from 70 to $1, that's a high R multiple trade. right? And so like I would just take a little bite and then go focus, do other things, and then I can add as this starts to confirm and maybe take other shots. I tell you, I'm so psyched to see how this next week goes with the strategy, because like the fact that I was green, even though like really botching some of the executions and making mistakes, I'm like, man, if I just get better at that, jeez. Anyway, so that's one. Works is another one. I'm still watching one, because it's like, if I see it like coil up here, and we can break out and do another retest, I would love that. Works is another setup that I had been watching that I didn't participate in. Great third day surge here on a Friday. So bummed that I missed it. But, this thing is still in play. Still worth watching, especially if this can hang around here in the 330s and push and break 360. Still love Works. I'm going to make that blue. CXDC. Another low-priced penny NASDAQ play. I was watching because I thought it had a pretty good bounce setup. Oh, look at this. It had the day, and it pretty much filled this entire gap, right? And then look at this perfect fades. Third day, you get, what is it, 48 cents, 49 cents to 92 cents. Ugh, amazing. Just fucking so amazing. And I missed all of it. Look at this. Look at this. And then it was weird. It happened in the middle of the day there, right? But, I mean, it's fine. Like, you have it on watch. You see this, you see this thing, right? And sure, this is kind of like a little bit of a fake out, but then you get this, like, look at this sort of double bottom thing, right? A little bit, huh? Slightly higher. Yep. Back to test this upward trend. Boom, explosive move. Like you could really just wait. Really just wait for it and then catch. Ah, Jesus, I hate that I do this. And then just catch. Let's say you're taking, my God. I'm sorry, guys. There's the bounce day. So let's say you grab this entry at 50, right? Or even you're like, let's say you're even waiting for the confirmation, right? So let's say you're grabbing 51. Let's say you're grabbing, even if you're grabbing 52, and let's say you're risking 49. Let's say you're risking 49 at 52. That's 3 cents. Insane risk reward. Oh my God. This is like a Dan Irish thing too. Like I've seen Bryce kind of do some trades that basically had this setup, and then I stumbled across, I started watching all of Dan Irish's YouTube videos, and I'm like, oh, that's where Bryce got it from. All right. Word. So love CXDC. I think it could give another great spike. That's another top one for me. ATIP is a bounce play, I think, that I've been looking at. I love this. If we break out of this range, this is gonna be a little whatever. This could be tough, but we got 450. I would love to see a test to 5. Maybe whatever, but I want to get involved. I think maybe this could start a larger daily trend that could potentially go for that gap fill, right? Like this really seems like the key zone, and I really want to see this gap fill attempt. That's why I'm watching that one. I don't know that it's gonna happen though. Like the longer we base, I love that we have this higher low situation going on, right? Like that's amazing. Volume's kind of like waning down. That's not bad. Be prepared. Just on the higher end, but do I want to make it blue? I don't know. WHLR. What do I have written? Continued sagging lets the 3 becomes a base. Yeah, I just think like it looks like that's what's setting up to do, and I would ideally love to see the upper end of this respected and maybe give us a good bounce, like a good first green day sort of thing. But this just seems like excessive, a little excessive. So we'll see. AHPI. Want to see an 850 hold for first green day bounce. Yep, pretty much 4 red days in a row. We're due. I would love to see this respected. Ideally, the 850 hold for the bounce like puts this on a continued bullish idea. You know, we could still have a first green day bounce, but like here in the 760s, like that's possible, but that just makes this, you know, a continued more bearish leaning chart. I like it, but you know, it's more expensive for me, but it has been a popular name, you know. I should watch, I keep thinking it's Wheeler just because of the ticker, but go to bounce play I've been stalking that I haven't participated in, because for me the key 4 is the key zone to get to 9. But look at this, like look at this, lows of 2 4s within a few short days. Like you already make a good return. So you know, we got this thing, we had this consolidation, we had this retest, we have this consolidation, we're kind of narrowing. I think that we're setting up for some type of move one way or the other. Go to, like I do not want to miss, go to BCHG. That's just one I have a feeling about. Like no one's mentioned that. I just am like trying to stay like more in tune with my own intuition, because there's been enough times where ones I've been looking at all of a sudden become like chatted about a week or 2 later, and I'm like, ugh, why didn't I just get involved? BCHG, back into the 5s. Why am I watching this? Oh, because this is just, you know, this is interesting too. With Bitcoin being like doing as well as it is, and this is just really sagging here. I think we gotta bounce to retest the 10s. Is like that feels appropriate. Like, so yeah. Another gap fill idea. Yep, first green day at new low ceiling is 950. Definitely don't want to miss that. NAOV. We've been having fun with this name. This was one of my biggest gains this week. Love that it's still, you know, it's still in this moment. We're still in this moment. But we're getting, I think, you know, we're getting close to some sort of big move to the downside or to the upside. So definitely still on watch. And tech. See, this is why I'm so nervous about, like, you know, I have so many blue ones already. It's kind of like, okay. Like, what's the point? Maybe the blue ones, I just gotta be the ones that are like in my price range. Maybe. And tech. We're looking for a first green day bounce. Yeah, this is looking like backside, but maybe we bounce off of this support in the 880s. So something to watch out for. AEHR. So range bound right now, like it over 6, pretty much. You know, we had this big day. Here. Offered a lot of range, a lot of spike, but this got, you know, then we started to fade. Volumes kind of died off, but we're still holding. And the fact that we're still holding is pretty great. So I think we, you know, I would love to see if we have a convincing day here, we could easily give a retest. So keep that on your radar. BLIN. I think I have as a bounce off of 5. That I want to see if that is tomorrow, actually. Funny, it's like I'm doing this in real time. Sort of, except I already like pre-highlighted everything. Billing off of 5. Ogen. I feel like Ogen's got to be in there just because it's in the 70-cent range. So, like, we're setting up for something. I don't know why this is there. Does that make more sense on the intraday chart? Like, kind of not really. But even so, like, I want to add one at this low. Boom. Yeah, because, you know, maybe this sets up a little structure and we could get a bounce to, you know, into this area of resistance. Possible. But, you know, right now this is more, I'm more bearish on this than I am, like, bullish. Just on this pattern overall, because right here I see that. I see that forming. So if Monday we open and we're in the 75, 76 range, I think that's bullish because then we've sort of broken this downtrend thing. And then that means we'd be set up nicely for a retest to 85. But still, yeah, it's only 10 cents, but whatever. You know, 85 divided by 75. That's still 13%. I take that. I got a low odds 13% move, please. Every day. Every day. So we're gonna make that blue because it's in my price range. GSS. And that is just me. I am a tiny account boy. I am a tiny account boy. I'm sorry I'm so weird in these videos. I'm just like kind of a weird dude. Look how gross that is. Like, this I'm definitely looking for some sort of bounce. Right, cliff dive bounce watch. Yup, pretty much. Cliff dive bounce watch. I'm still gonna end up with so many blue ones. Jesus. Yeah, I really don't... I really don't know what to look for as far as... Let's do the 21 hour. Yeah, like this is really as low as I'd want to see it go. If this gaps down tomorrow, I don't know that I'm interested. You could maybe say that. You could maybe say 220 is maybe like, I don't know. All right, but yeah, I think this is definitely, like, come on, you can't tell me, you can't look at that and tell me that's not driven by emotions. Like, you just can't. This will pick up. Oh, and you even had a nice little like reverse head and shoulders here. That's kind of cool. So you know, maybe if volume comes in, I could see us maybe getting here, but 246 seems like it's a pretty strong zone. You know, you had this test here, you had this, you had this attempt here. Still, I would take 30 cents, especially if I could get, if this opens near these lines, if I can get if I could get 230 to risk 228. I mean, even 227, that's still, that's still pretty good. I'm trying to think more in terms of our multiples. If I risk 2 cents and I get a 30-cent move, right? It's pretty good. GSS like that. UXIM. I know these are long, I'm sorry. I should just give like, here are my top 3, but this is also like part study. Interesting consolidation, maybe start a multi-day uptrend, maybe. I would like to see if this puts in like a little another rounded bottom thing here to retest the 4 and then break out more. I think that would be great, because right now we had this going, so we broke out of that and that was nice. Right, we had these lower lows. We sort of found we found a bottom-ish here in this zone. Bam. even though we kind of wicked down, but whatever. You know, we found a bottom in this range, broke out of this. Now we're sort of consolidating. You know, if we hold this range and if we start to curl and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, cool, high or low, boom, UXIN. Maybe. Just gonna check in on it. That's probably one that plays out over some days. INFI, I like this. I like this action a good bit. Maybe this is a 3rd day surge watch for Monday. I thought about the 320 test. You saw that in the doc there. I had this listed for a potential test of the 320s, and I missed it for the day because I think I was watching and I had that maybe here or something. It was later, but look at this. Look how pretty this is, right? So you have this fail, you have this intersection, and boom, touches, boom, touches. Boom. Dip a little bit below, but we do find this 257 level. Boom, touches. That confirms the bullish trend. There it is. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. And then you get this crazy move. Gotta be better about watching that. And those are lines drawn off of the daily chart too. Like, so it's so funny, like the way the lines work. MDIA, another one. This is on watch like through the days. We kind of have this little thing going on, but I do like that we found this bottom here in the 530s, found a higher bottom, and we're drifting up, but I want to see us breach this level. Once we reach this level, if volume really comes in, look at the move that we could see. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good for a watch. So that's a cool off watch, IMV. No, MDIA. Oh, we're almost at the end. IMV. Nice. IMV. 3rd day surge to retest 190. Yeah, we had this breakout. We had this pullback day. And then potentially if we gap up slightly, that opens the door. That opens the door for this test. Love to see that. And look at this. Just look at the magic of this. And then boom, breaks out. You could easily watch for this. Even though this is illiquid, right? Illiquid. When you get this breakout, and then you get this sort of panic. Is that an after hours candle? I think it is. And then the next day, you open up. You open here, right? Whatever. You start to dip. You see this hold. 166, 167, you risk 165, and you get 74 out of it. Easy. And that's good risk reward, even though the range isn't super great. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I got to focus on. But yeah, IMV, 3rd day surge. Would love to see it retest 190. Would love to see it. Not a whole, very illiquid. You could tell those candles look really friggin' wacky. But I love that. Look how crazy. Look how crazy this went. On this 190 day. And then it had this insane run to 3 in the afters for I don't know why. But that's pretty insane. I would love to see us break out a 190 for the 2 test. And then intraday pull some sort of nutty move, or maybe you get it. Maybe it does another nutty move in the afters. Who knows? I don't, but I do know that I like this. This looks good. We're gonna make that blue. All right, let's tally up our. Let's see, how many blues do we got? One. I knew we'd have a lot of blues. Look, every other one is blue. Oh my God. I'm ridiculous. Anyway, other names are still, you know, there's still interesting things, and I'm trimming it down. Some are like getting boring, and I'm realizing I want to stick to primarily, I don't know, I'll say less than 10, right? Ideally less than 5, but less than 10. I want to keep on the actual tracker, and if it's higher than 10, I think I just want it to be something that's like a hot stock of the day, that you know everyone's watching, right? Something like a BYSI or something like that, you know, which is also still, you know, still worth watching. I mean, we're in this range pretty good. I mean, look at the 30 retest was so great, so real. You know, we're still hanging around, so who knows? Who knows? KXIN too? It's another one. Like KXIN not written down here? Man, I'm gonna put KXIN in there. KIXN was good to me. Look at that. Ugh. And I putzed it too. Freaking putzed it. There we go. I don't know why it's like it's getting wonky sometimes. I don't know why it's doing this lately. Look at just how bad. Look at the putzings. Exploratory bet at 217. Sell it at 227. And then this, you know, these are still decent, right? Like I'm still doing all right here. And but these are all just FOMO, like not FOMOs, but these are all just me like, ah man, I'm mad that I sold here, and so I'm like, I still got to capture some of this upside. But you know, and I'm doing it like incorrectly because I don't want to buy here because I'm just in the middle of the range. I took the exploratory bet literally with what I've been talking about, thinking like 217, I'm gonna get 58 shares at 217, small, but I'm gonna risk 2, right? I'm gonna risk 17 cents a share. I know that 280 is possible, possibly 3. I know that's what we got overhead. And then I get just razzled by everything else that's going on, that when I come back, you know, I'm leaving this alone. That's the only reason I held through this dip to 201, is because I knew I had my risk set to $2 and I had a hard stop. So if we touched $2, I was just going to get a ding, you know, while I was dealing with something else. And so I look and I'm like, oh man, 227, I'm going to sell. When like really I knew I wanted to wait for the bigger picture. So I should have just waited. And you know what too, as I sold this and I had a losing BYSI trade, I sold this one first. And long story short, I didn't need to sell the BYSI trade either, because that would have been a winner if I waited 15 minutes. I just saw it going down on me in real time. And even though my risk, same thing, my risk was down here and it never hit my risk, I was like, oh no, it's going down. Let me cut. Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, so should have let this run, waited for this pullback, seen this as a structure, you know, bam, click, click. Then you know, you get in on this break of the structure. And then you wait. You get this little, you either get this little dip, or this would have been annoying. Like, unless you're getting in at the bottom of this, like this is a big 1 minute surge too. Like, unless you see it, you know, and get in at 190, if you're specifically waiting for the break of the upper trend line, I mean, you still got like 15 cents. I'm like, that's fine. If you know, you get the break and then you risk the trend line. But, you know, you got to know to take it fast, because you would end up getting stopped out if you risked the trend line here. You know, you probably would have gotten stopped out here, here, here. Anyway, that is it. Those are all the ones. These are all still in play, and I have some, some thoughts, but those are my highlights. I know that was long. I'll probably get better at narrowing these down as I go. I don't know, but that's how we do it. Yeah, take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow with the pre-market watch list when I do narrow all of these down / have a couple new runners to keep track of. But in the meantime, take it easy. Aubrey out.